Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in again with me here at Success After Pain Podcast. Remember this, there was a time in my life when pain controlled my decision. A time when I was searching for relief, searching for answers, and searching for a way out. But I learned something powerful. Pain can either break you or it can build you. Welcome to Success After Pain Podcast, a place where we have real conversations about overcoming addiction, rebuilding after failure, healing from trauma, and discovering purposes through life's toughest moments. If you ever felt like giving up, this is the podcast for you. I'm glad you're here. Let's grow together. Today is Wisdom Wednesday. I want to share 3 things with you guys. How it changed my life. And those 3 things, the first one, I would start off saying that I had to change people, places, and things. I'm not here to say that the people I use with was the people that encouraged me to use. No. I made a conscious decision at that time to use. Those people was people around me that I felt comfortable around using. So I'm not on this channel to blame anyone for my mishaps or my shortcomings. Again, I made a conscious decision to do the things that I did. And I want to inform you, you don't have to do those things. You can change those people, places, and things which are required and heavily suggested in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. You see, those people are the people that is your enablers. People that are not going to pull you up on your BS. People who are going to allow you to continue to sabotage your future. See, those are the very people and things that you need to eradicate in your life. In other words, you need to change. They say change you must or die you will, which is my last video. We had a segment pertaining to that favorite quote, So today, man, those same old people that I once used with, today, I'm not saying that I'm more than them or any better than they are, but I just chose, man, I'm going in a different direction. So if you're changing how you see life, then you got to change the things around you. You can't continue to do the same thing and expect a different results. That's called insanity. You see, changing people, places, and things will allow you to make smarter decisions. See, that upside down thinking that led you to that jail cell. That up down thinking that led you to be homeless. That upside down thinking actually took everything away from you, including yourself. So today I'm here to encourage you to stop thinking that you can do the same thing and get a different results. See, when we think like that and behave like that, we end up with the same results, which is jail, institutions, or death most of the times. And they don't necessarily have to come in that exact order. It could be death and everything will be over. So I'm here to tell you and to share my experience, strength, and hope with you. So maybe you can take something and utilize it or incorporate it into your daily travel. And the first thing, like I said, once I decided that I wanted to come from up under the hypnosis of addiction, I had to change my way of looking at things. I had to change people, places, and things. So that would be my first tool, about first suggestions that I would want to share with you. The next, right? When I feel like using, I must pick up the phone and call somebody that ain't using. Preferably somebody that is in NA or AA, whichever fellowship that you supports or supports you. Excuse me. You know, they told me, to find a meeting. They say get some phone numbers. They say dial them, don't file them. Meaning that when you have that urge to use drugs, people, or things, because see, it don't necessarily have to be drugs that you're using. It doesn't mean that drugs is solely your problem. Because I would tell you, 9 times out of 10, it ain't the drug. It's you, the problem. And it's how we think. That's the reason why they say the disease of addiction is cunning, baffling, and insidious. See how it's our upside down thinking. See, my thinking led me into the rooms. Because see, I can become that person, even with clean today. I can become that great thinker. And some of my greatest thinking landed me in jail, man. Today, man, I gotta run it by somebody else. I gotta share what's going on with me with somebody else that can pull me up on my nonsense, man. Because see, once you lock and loaded, there's no turning away. There's no turning back. You headed for slaughter in so many ways. And most time, like they say, either jails, institutions, or death. We don't want that on no one. So that's why I feel like my God of my understanding, which is the Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, has allowed me to become a beacon light of hope. So you won't have to go through some of the things that I went through. So I'm here to share my experience, strength, and hope. And if it works for me, it can work for you. So the second thing, like I shared, I had to pick up the phone and I had to reach out and talk to someone else and share with them what I was experiencing during the time of my sorrow. Because mind you, it don't necessarily have to mean that you are sad. Because see, if you was an addict like me, I used when I was happy. I used when I was sad. I used just because. That's the truth of the matter. So today, man, I got to be mindful. I can't trust my thinking at all. Because like I say, my greatest thinking led me into the Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. My greatest thinking took me back and forth to the penitentiary so many times, man. Right now, as we speak, man, I've served about 24 and a half years in jails and prisons. And I'm not proud to share that, but that's the reality of my upside down thinking. That's the reality of the disease of addiction. You see, that's the reality of that great thinking that I can become at times. So I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you. So maybe that when that great thinking moment appears up here, you can pick that phone up, man, and run it by somebody and get a second suggestion. They told me, man, to take somebody else's suggestions other than mine. That's good orderly direction. They also told me, man, to find a God of my own understanding. See, me, y'all know, man, y'all may not know, my belief system is not the traditional belief system. Yes, I grew up in a Baptist home. I grew up going to church every Sunday. But at an early age, I became very inquisitive about the teacher. So, this story is for another day. And plus, my channel is for recovery. So I don't want to get on here and start spruiling out other information pertaining to other subjects. But stay tuned, because we're getting ready to create another channel. I don't know if I'm going to do it on YouTube or another platform, but I will inform y'all and keep y'all updated on this next channel. We will be covering current events, a whole lot of issues that is going on in our world today. I want to be a beacon, a light of hope, to give my advice along with my opinions on a lot of the things that are occurring all around us. So stay tuned for that. But let's get back to Wisdom Wednesday and me sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you all. Like I was sharing, man, your greatest thinking, man, can be your worst thinking. So that is the second suggestion. The third suggestion is that you must basically find you a meeting, a home group, a place that you can go and share your experience, strength, and hope. Find you a sponsor. Find some other family members, recovery members that are actually working the program and the steps. See, they told me, man, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You got to be willing to change your thinking process. You got to be willing to change your schedule, change your travel on a daily basis. If it's that trap house to go to the neighborhood grocery store, then guess what? You got to find you another route. Because if you keep going by that same spot, even though today you may not stop, but I promise you, all it takes for an event to occur, and I promise you, you will find yourself back in that trap house before you know it. Even though you may have told yourself, man, I ain't going back over there no more, man. I ain't gonna go and spend all my money there this week. Trust me, man, I was that same person, man. It was many times, man, I told my family, man, I ain't going back over there no more. I'm going to take my check and I'm going to come home. And there you go. That great mind again. Come Wednesday, some of them same people, they start coming around, or I start going around them. Next thing you know, they giving me stuff. Because they know I'm going to get paid Friday. And guess what's going to happen then? They're going to get it all then. But now, mind you, I just told you. I told my people last week when I came home, lying about what happened to my money, broke, disgusted again, shame, embarrassed, didn't want to, admit of what took place, because the disease of addiction, it had overpowered me, man. And I didn't know what to do but lie, cheat, and steal. Guess what? If you are anybody like me, that's a part of your story too. So I suggest, like I shared, find you another route to that neighborhood grocery store, even the neighborhood convenience store. Wherever you use or using is going on, you got to refrain from going anywhere near that. You see what I'm saying? Because like I just shared, all it takes for something to happen, and sometimes it don't even take for something to happen. It's just that people know that you are weak. When it comes to the disease of addiction, they're going to come around on a Wednesday or Thursday and they're going to start offering you something. You're going to take it. You ain't going to take it. Let's be real now. Because you ain't even starting to work the first program yet. So why would you put yourself at risk? Why wouldn't you take suggestion or advice for someone who have worked the steps and is working the steps and also are currently active in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous? Somebody that is sharing their experience, strength, and hope, so that you won't have to continue to hit that brick wall. They told me in the rooms when I first got there, let me love you till you learn to love yourself. In other words, take the cotton out your ears and stuff it into your mouth. Because clearly, if you're watching this video, then you just like me. You powerless over people, places, and things. And you becoming tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. So now you are considering to finding a new way to live. See, the literature told me any addict can lose the desire from using and find a new way to live. Is that a part of your story today? If it is, then this is where you need to be. Here at Success After Pain Podcast. Truly, where we tell live stories and real stories. You know, sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you. Hoping that something that I may say that will rub off on you and you can make that change. You can turn that change into purpose. That pain into purpose, you know. It's one day at a time though, man. It's one decision at a time. And it starts, begins, and ends with you. With that being said, man, those are the 3 things that I've used to stay clean. The first one was stop going around people, places, and things. The second one, find you a meeting. Pick up the phone and call someone that is not using. And the third one, find you a meeting so you can make it a home group so you can continue to go to meetings and allow someone else to share their experience, strength, and hope. Also, to allow them to let you show up so you can actually get this thing right, man. You know, somebody had to be there for me when I first went to a meeting. They kept the door open for me, man. So somebody's waiting for you at that next meeting to show up, man, and introduce yourself. Hey, my name is such and such in person, and I'm an addict. It's all right to share that you're an addict because it's millions of us that are addicts. And mind you, it don't necessarily have to be from drug addiction. It can be from pornography. It can be from obesity. It can be from gambling. It can be from infidelity. Man, we struggle with life issues. You know, they say the reason why we pick people, places, and things because we don't want to face reality. You see? So we'll use other things to medicate how we feel or how we interact with a situation. What I'm trying to do is give you good orderly directions so you may be able to make a different decision. Taking somebody else's suggestion like they informed me to do. See, because my best thinking, man, like I shared again, it put me in the situations, man, that I didn't come out clean, man. Matter of fact, I didn't even make it back home to my family, man. I ended up in a jail cell and then on off to the penitentiary. You know, I've made decisions that landed me away from my family years at a time, man. But I left on a average day, sunny day, sometimes maybe been raining. But the point of the matter is, they was expecting me to return back home after leaving out that door. And it took me years, months to return. And I was one of the lucky ones. What about some of those addicts that never even made it in a courtroom, but made it to the cemetery? That can be me or you with that upside down thinking. See, these are the things that we must be considerate of. See, because a lot of times when we're using, we don't think about those things. All we thinking about is the drug or whatever that we seem to want to medicate ourselves with at that given time. So today, man, I'm just trying to open that window up of psychological awareness. You know, things that you may haven't considered in changing. I want to let you know. See, some of the minute things, some of the little small things in your life can make a big difference in your life if you only take that initiative to change them. See, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Know and understand that when you are locked and loaded and you at your best thinking, you headed for doom, man. Because if your record is anything like my record, my greatest thinking, man, landed me into some situations, even today, I wish I would have never, took my own advice and carried the process out. And even with being clean. See, I gotta continue to take someone else's suggestions. See, I gotta continue to stay around people, places, and things that basically I use with or did some sort of outrageous, had some sort of outrageous experience with. I gotta stay from around those people, places, and things. Because even though you can be clean, you still can make some stupid decisions, some crazy decisions. They told me that I was an addict before that choice of drug. Why they say that? An addict is anybody who feels like they can do the same thing and expect a different result. Anything that is not productive and you are doing it and you expecting that, okay, this time when I do it, I'm going to have a greater outcome. But your outcome could be worse than your last outcome. That's a person that is insane. Most time, that's how an addict think. They think with an insane mindset. So I'm here to tell you to give yourself a break, man. Take somebody else's suggestion. Allow someone else to share their experience, strength, and hope with you. And hopefully, something will rub off. And you can take it and utilize it into your everyday travel. Today, man, just those 3 tools, what I shared with you, my life is a whole lot different than what it used to be, man. No, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm far from where I used to be. I can see the change is occurring. And that's all that matters, man. It's trying to make a difference in your life. But most of us, when we're there, we're not even trying. It's like we have given up, on the things that we once possessed and lagged at or embraced. We no longer do those things anymore. We could care less about them. Why? Because the disease of addiction had overpowered you. And now you're not the person that you once was. But guess what? Your past doesn't define your future. You can pick yourself back up, wipe yourself off, and get this thing right. If I can do it, so can you. So today, I want to share with you also. Come on the channel and share a part of your experience, strength, and hope. Share 3 things that change your life. Drop it in the comment below, man. If anything that I shared with you today and you liked it, please like, share, or subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build this channel so we can go on other platforms to help other people just like you and I. See, it's not about just me. It's not about just you. It's about anybody that is battling with the disease of addiction in any form or fashion. Like I say, it don't necessarily have to be from the substance abuse, but we battle with other things. And I mentioned them earlier. And the list goes on and on. So anything that have made your life unmanageable, and you feel that you did everything that you could to try to change that, but you still find yourself engaging in those old curriculums or behaviors, then this is where you need to be. You are here on Success After Pain podcast, where we take pain and turn it into purpose. Recovery meets redemption over here with me at Success After Pain podcast, meaning that your past can be something of the past, but your new way of life can be a brighter horizon for someone just like you is today and like I was yesterday. It's about each one teach one. It's about helping somebody else. It's about giving back what was so freely given to you. And that is the message of hope. So if you're new, stick and stay. Find you a meeting. And remember the 3 things that I shared with you today here on Wisdom Wednesday. And that was, again, I want to repeat myself. The first one is change people, places, and things. The second one, when you feel the need or the urge to use people, places, or things, pick up the phone, call someone, and share with them what you're going through. All right? The third one, find you a meeting. Find you a sponsor. Get you some phone numbers. Dial them, don't file them. Utilize those 3 concepts there. And hopefully you can find a better way to live. Because see, at the end of the day, that is my mission, to help you find a new way to live. So if you want to give up that high cost of low living, you where you need to be at. And that is Success After Pain podcast. Here, we love you and we want the best for you. Thank you for spending this time with me on Success After Pain podcast. If today's episode encouraged you, challenged you, or reminded you that you are capable of more, be sure to subscribe, share, and like to this episode, and leave a review in the comments. Peace. Proper education always corrects error over here at Success After Pain podcast.